Hey there, it's Indy. Did you watch my last video about how to get bonus levels on wild baby creatures? If you did, it's wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. At least about the bonus levels part. You can imprint a baby by taming the parent. That part is correct, but that's okay. I'm fine with being wrong, as long as we follow up with what is correct. And that's what this video is about. So I did some research, because I like to study things. That's my jam. We downloaded the Flat Map mod by Ojack Frost. Go ahead and get it if you want, so you could, do your own experiments if you like, or anything else for that matter. It's a great map. And we just started spawning in some dinos. Here we pick our first parasaur so we can see if on the start we're going to get bonus levels on the baby right away or no bonus levels. The reason why I use the admin gun is so that I don't aggro the other creatures, because it's equivalent to an insta-kill. Alright, we go to imprint the baby. It started out at level 50 and we got no bonus points. It is level 50 afterward. So we are starting right away with no bonus levels on the baby on the first try. A misunderstanding I had about imprinting the babies was that I thought I needed food in my hot bar or my inventory in order to imprint on them. And I think that was because with some babies, their hitbox is so tiny that you don't see it initially. And I thought I wasn't getting the prompt because I needed to actually feed it, which in actuality, it's just their hitbox is so tiny that you don't see it. And usually I only see it if I give it a little punch and then it shows up. And even then, it can be difficult to pick out. That's where my one mistake was. I don't usually raise creatures that are so tiny with tiny babies. So that wasn't something that I actually thought about. But corrections were made. Thanks for everyone who was letting me know. Do appreciate it. With this group of parasaurs I have here, we will be testing if the amount of time the creature's in the world determines whether or not you can get bonus levels on the creature. So we'll come back to these guys in 15 minutes and see if any of them get bonus levels when I imprint on their babies. For these series of experiments, I spawned in a bunch of moss chops. And the very first one, we use the admin gun to instantly take out the parent so that we can imprint the baby. Because the baby isn't aggroed by the loss of the parent, the baby is calm, so that we can more easily imprint. And as we can see, even though the baby was calm, the baby did not get bonus levels on the imprint. On the next moss chops, I admin tame, which is the equivalent of a 100% taming effectiveness, and I go find their baby. I imprint the baby, but the baby did not get any bonus levels. I was just able to imprint it. I decided to violently remove a parent to see if it would make any difference. And even then, it didn't change anything. The baby still didn't get bonus levels. I did find it very difficult to calm babies down when they're just running around out in the wild. And if I exited render distance and came back in, the baby disappeared, which is something I think one should keep in mind if you do leave the area after the parent is deceased, because the baby's just going to poof. And so there's really no point in leaving them. You may as well imprint them if you really want it. Here I trapped a baby and a parent inside a box. And then I released the parent and let her run out, and then spawned in a Carno to see if the parent getting attacked and killed by a wild creature would give the baby bonus levels when I imprinted. When I returned, the baby was calm. I wonder if it's because I didn't have line of sight of the parent, But when I did imprint it, the baby did not get any bonus levels. It was still level 10. At this point, it was 15 minutes later, so we returned to our original parasaurs. I removed the parent, I went to imprint its baby, and it did not get any bonus levels. I then went to another parasaur and I admin tamed it, and I looked for its baby, and the baby did not get bonus levels, but the parent did, since admin tame is equal to 100% taming effectiveness. Right after checking the parasaurs and seeing that nothing had changed and I wasn't getting bonus levels with the baby, I spawned in some new creatures, moss chops, to see if those new spawns would give us any bonus levels when we imprint the babies. I found one. I quickly removed the parent. I found the baby. I imprinted the baby, and the baby did not get any bonus levels. At this point, we are just waiting another 15 minutes for our initial parasaurs to see if maybe 30 minutes. Maybe animals need 30 minutes to be in the world for us to get bonus levels on their imprinted babies. So we just ran around on the moss chops for a little bit until that time. The next test is to see if exiting the game does anything. But because I saved my single player, I needed to test if a world save changes anything. So I found a parasaur. I instantly took out the parent. I went to imprint on the baby, and the baby did not get any additional bonus levels. Then I went ahead and exited my game. I did not fully exit out of the client, and I immediately went back into my single player game. Then I went to go find a parasaur parent. I instantly removed it, and I went to imprint the baby to see if anything changed. Level 52. And the baby got bonus levels. All we did was exited the game and logged back in. We didn't even exit the entire client. So I spawned another one back in to see if this one will also get it. I let them sit around for a little bit so that they exist in the world as a family togetherness. Then I took out the parent. There's the baby, calm. We imprint. No bonus levels. Now that logging out seems to change the bonus levels, I spawned in brand new parasaurs. I found a parent, and I took the parent out. Then I went to imprint the baby immediately. The baby did not have bonus levels. I went ahead, saved my game, quickly exited to the main menu, didn't leave the client, and we came back in. I found one of the parents, removed them with the admin gun. I went to imprint the baby, and the baby got bonus levels just from exiting the frickin' game. What? So in my single player game, it seems that logging out and logging back into the single player game is really the only thing that has changed the option to actually get the bonus levels. And I get bonus levels on creatures that already exist. And when I spawn in new creatures, they do not get the bonus levels. Unfortunately, this does not account for variables that can happen in a multiplayer server. If one tribe member exits and logs back in and is able to get bonus levels on a baby, can their tribe mate who still remained on the server and did not log out, who is unable to initially, able to after that? I'm thinking this is just something that happens client side, but obviously it's broken. So there's just a lot of things that you can try out on a server to see similar variations, but between multiple people, whether or not someone who is inactive and someone who is active, say logging out and back in, or, interacting with the creatures, harming the creatures, stuff like that. If that makes a difference on whether or not one gets bonus levels and another person gets bonus levels. I'm thinking it's just on an individual basis though. But that doesn't change the fact that the mechanics for getting bonus levels on the babies is very broken. Personally, I have some suggestions on what would make the experience better and more immersive. Suggestion number 1, levels. If getting bonus levels on a baby is determined by the survivor's own level, and I think that level should just coincide with, say, maybe the level in which you make the saddle for that creature. There are some creatures that don't have saddles. I don't think Moss Chop has saddles, right? So that would just have to be a decided level, something else like that. But that would mean that you would have to actually work towards that level in order to get certain creatures. Like, for example, the Carcrodont requires a very high level in order to make the saddle. Thusly, you would need to be at that level in order to even get the bonus levels when you imprint a baby. But you could still imprint any baby. That's what I'm saying. It's just for the bonus levels. Level-wise. Another suggestion I have, kibble. Very simple. We already make kibble to try to get close to 100% taming effectiveness on adult wild creatures. Let's do a similar thing for babies. You can have a secret option when imprinting that if you do have kibble in your hotbar, you have the option to feed it instead of just automatically imprinting. And because you gave it the kibble, boom, you get 100% bonus levels on the baby. It makes you work for the kibble. You gotta have something to kind of work towards. It's immersive because you already have kibble in the system, right? I think that's a fair one. Another suggestion, number 3, does involve taming the parent. If the baby could be linked with the parent's taming effectiveness. So, for example, if you can do a 100% kibble tame or something similar on the parent, the baby gets it. If the parent gets, attacked by a wild animal, maybe its taming effectiveness drops to 50%. Then guess what happens? The baby gets that 50% as well. You don't get 100 on the baby. I think that seems pretty fair if you want to get bonus levels, which I think would be more fair than this random broken stuff that's going on right now. If you have any suggestions or ideas, let me know in the comments. Let me know your experiences with taming babies. How often did you get bonus levels? How often did you not? What kind of stuff were you trying to figure out and have you done? Because so far I've done a lot of these little experiments, and honestly the only thing that I found on my single player game was just logging out and coming back in. I think it's almost like 100% every time, which is incredibly frustrating because I don't want to have to keep doing that just because I come across a baby animal that I want to tame. I think it should, if it's going to be random, it should just be random in every single instance, not in a login, which makes me think that there's something not right about it. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment. And, join us for a stream. I'm going to be streaming soon. I hope to see you there. Have a good one. Stay safe, survivor.